Hello and thank you for purchasing the Masonry image and video gallery Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video I'll be showing you how to use it. With this section you can add multiple videos and images with a Masonry effect along with an optional pop-up screen. To get started, let's add some content by going to the blocks to the left sidebar, and we'll see that we have a video one and an image one. Let's start with the video. When we click on it, we see multiple options, and the first one is the video URL. With this, you can add a YouTube or a Vimeo link and use that video for this block. But you also have an option to upload a local MP4 video from your library, so you can select it using this field like this. And when using an MP4 video, this will overwrite this other video. So this will be ignored if you have it right here. So in this case, I'm gonna use this video. Next, we have the video poster image field, and with this you can add an optional placeholder image for that video. For example, we can add something like this, and instead of showing this video, it will show a custom image so the users can click on it to see the video. And for now, I'm gonna leave it with a poster image. Then we have the video settings, and the first option is the autoplay video. So when this is enabled, the video will start playing automatically. Right now we don't see it because we're using a placeholder image like this, but if we remove this, you see that the video will start playing without clicking on it. So you have that option when not using poster image. Next, we have the loop video, and when this is enabled, at the end of the video will repeat again. And when this is disabled, at the end of the video will remain on that last frame. Okay, but for now I'm gonna keep it enabled. Next, you have the show controls on video option, and when this is enabled, the users can scroll through the video like this. But on this case, I'm gonna leave it disabled because I really like that seamless effect. And actually, I'm gonna put back the poster image because I want the users to click the video in order to see it. Next, we have an optional video link field, and this is in case you want the users to click on the video to go to a page on your store. You can add that page using this field. Okay, so maybe to all collections, so the users can click to go to that link. Right now this is disabled because we control this option on the section settings, but I'll show you how to enable it. So those are the options for the video block, and now we can go to the image block. And when we select it, we see two options. We see an image field, so we can add our own image in here like this. And you also have an image link like the video link. So maybe this one we can go to a homepage collection. Okay, so those are the options for adding content to the blocks. Now I'm gonna add more content to the other blocks and speed up the process. Okay, I finished adding content to the default blocks, but you can add more blocks to the section by going in here and clicking on add block. So you can add either an image or a video. Okay, so you have that option. But I don't need more blocks right now, so I'm ready to customize the section styling. So let's head over to the section settings. I will see multiple options. The first one is the grid layout, and by default is by media max width. Okay, so you have that option or by columns, and when using by media max width, it will be determined by this field over here. So this will wrap automatically depending on this size. It will be dynamic, and if they're smaller, they're gonna be like this. Okay, so you can add more blocks in here to fill out the content. Okay, but maybe this is too much, so I'm gonna leave it around 280. But you also have an option to use it by columns, and when using by columns, this width will be determined by this column. For example, if it's 3, all of them will be bigger, or 2 like this. Okay, so this will be ignored. But on this case, I'm gonna leave it by media max width because I want to keep the grid dynamic and control it using this max width. Next, we have the gap between rows, and with this we control this distance over here. So if I increment this, I'll make more room between them vertically. Okay, and with the gap between columns, we can control it horizontally like this. Okay, maybe that's too much. I'm gonna leave it around there. Next, we had the same settings for mobile. We had the grid columns on mobile, grid item max width, gap between rows, and gap between columns. Next, we have the grid item settings, and the first option is the grid item click action. Okay, so you have multiple options in here, so let me show you. When using pop-up and you click on an item, it will display on this pop-up screen. And if this video has autoplay turned on, the video will start playing on the pop-up. So you have that option. And you'll see that you also have some arrows to navigate through your media elements. Okay, so that's when using open pop-up, but you can also select open custom link. And with this, we can enable that link that we added here. When this is open custom link, it will go to that page when I click it. Okay, so you have that option, but you also have an option to open custom link in a new tab. So that way, when a user clicks on it, instead of going on this page, it will open that link on a new tab. And then you also have a none. And when using none, it will play the videos. So there's no pop-up, there's no link. So you can just play the video inline like this. Okay, but in this case, I really like the open pop-up because I want to use that pop-up screen, so I'm gonna leave it on open pop-up. Next we have the hover effect. So when this is enabled, you'll see this effect. So you have that option. When this is disabled, we don't see anything. For now, I'm gonna leave it enabled. Next we have the grid item border radius, and with this we control the corners of the item. So right now it's 20 pixels, but you can also remove it by selecting 0 or add even more using this field. Okay, maybe that's too much. I'm gonna leave it around 30. Okay, next we have the media dimensions, and with this we can select this size of the media. So by default it's square, but you can also select original like this, landscape, portrait, horizontal, or vertical. So this will crop that media element except when using original. When selecting this option, it will be the original media size. Okay, so you'll see the difference between the sizes. Okay, but for now I'm gonna leave it as portrait because I really like this effect. Next we have the section styling, and the first option is the section width. By default is full width with a content max width of 1280. So that means that the section expands all the way, but the content remains on 1280. Okay, maybe we don't see it right now because we don't have a background color, but if we add one using this field, maybe something like this, you'll see the section expanding, but the content remaining on 1280. Okay, so you have that option. Okay, but you also have an option to using real full width. And when this is enabled, this content max width will be ignored and the section will expand all the way. Maybe we don't see it right now because we have it as max width, the items, but if we select by columns and we select a fixed amount of columns and we expand it, you see the content reaching all the way like this. Okay, we can create the same effect using by media max width, but probably we'll need to adjust this to your liking to fill out the whole screen like this. So you have that option. Okay, but actually I don't need to expand the section like that. For me, keeping the content on 1280 works fine because I want to keep the content right here. Next we have the section background color, so you can add your own, and then we have the section border radius, and with this we control the corners of the section. Right now it's 0, but if I increment this, you'll see those curves like that, but in this case I don't really need it, so I'm gonna keep it 0. Next we have the section top, bottom, and horizontal margin, and this controls the outside distance of the section. So right now it's 20 pixels from the top, but if I increment this, I'll make more room at the top and also at the bottom using these fields. Next we have the section horizontal margin, and this is only available when using regular on section width. So right now we're using full width, but when using regular, this content max width will be the total width of the section. So you'll see that the section is not expanding all the way, the section remains on that 1280, and then with this field you can control this margin over here. If I make this 0, you'll see that there's no margin, but if I increment this, I'm controlling this space right here. But for now we can ignore it because I'm gonna use full width like this. Next we have the section top, bottom, and horizontal padding, and while the margin is the outside distance, the padding is the inside distance. So we have 20 pixels from the top, so it's this distance over here, but if you adjust this, you can make more room at the top, at the bottom, and horizontally, but inside the section like this. Okay, maybe that's too much, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Next you have the same settings for mobile. We have the top, bottom, and horizontal margin, and then we have the top, bottom, and horizontal padding. Next we have the play icon settings, and this is only available when using a poster image on a video blog like we're doing on the first blog. Okay, so we can update this styling. So we have the play icon color, so we can change this to a different one like this, and also the background color, so you can update it using this field. Maybe I'm gonna switch those colors like this. Next we have the play icon background opacity, so with this you can control this opacity right here, so you have that option. But in case you have your own play icon, you can add it using this field. So for example, if you want to use a custom one, you can just upload it in here. Okay, and then we have the play icon size. By default is medium, but you can select it to be small, large, or extra large. In this case I'm gonna keep it as medium, and I really like the default one, so I'm gonna use that one. Next we have the pop-up settings, and these are available if on the click item action you select it to be a pop-up. You can use this and style that pop-up. Okay, so you can style this, and the first option is to preview the pop-up, and when this is enabled we have a placeholder and we can style this right here. And the first option is the pop-up background color, so you can select a different color using this field. I'm gonna keep it dark for now, and then you have the background opacity. So by default is 50%, but you can increment this to make it darker. Maybe that's too much, maybe around here. That's fine. Next we have the pop-up close icon color, which is this one over here, so you can change that color using this field. Maybe a little lighter. Okay, next we have the pop-up media styling, and the first option is the media dimensions. So by default is original, but you can select it to be landscape, portrait, square, horizontal, and vertical. Okay, so you can also combine them. So for example, in here is a portrait, and inside the pop-up is the original, so you have that option. option, so you can change it using this field. Next, we have the pop-up media border radius, which controls these curves around here. We have the pop-up media max width, so you can control how big that image looks or video, okay? And you also have that option for mobile. Next, we have the pop-up tall image styling, and this is only available when using original. Let's say you have mixed sizes. Some images are wider than others and others are taller. With this, you can control that tall image. Okay, for example, if I turn this off and I select here to be original, I know that this image is taller than the rest. For example, this original image is landscape, but this one is very tall, and if I select that 58% on this type of images is fine, but maybe not on this one because this is very tall and right now it's overflowing. Okay, so you can use this for regular images and this one for tall images. We added that to give you more control on the pop-up area. You also have an option for adjusting that on mobile. Next, we have the pop-up arrow styling, and the first option is to show navigation arrows on pop-up. So right now it's enabled, so with those arrows you can go through your media gallery using this, okay? But you can also disable them using this field like this, okay? But right now I'm gonna keep it enabled, and actually I'm gonna turn this on again because I want to style those arrows easily. Next, we have the pop-up arrows line color, which is this right here. So it's that color, but you can also change it to any other color, the same with the background color. So you have that option. Maybe we can do something like this. Then you have the custom previews and next arrow. So this is in case you want to add your own custom arrows. You can do it using this field. For example, I can do this for the previous one and this one for the next one. Okay, so you can add your own custom arrows. Next, you have the arrow opacity on hover. So it's to create this effect. When you hover that arrow, you can keep it enabled, and when disabled, nothing happens like this. But for now, I'm gonna keep it enabled. Next, we have the pop-up arrows distance from edge, which is this distance over here. Right now it's 20 pixels, but if I increment this, I can bring them closer to the center. Maybe this is too much, around there. And you also have those same settings for mobile. And at the end, we have the section class field. And this is for advanced users. In case you need to share styling between the sections, you can do it using this field. Let's say that we have on our theme, the class that says red border has a border of 10 pixels solid red. Let's say we're loading that on our custom CSS. You can add that same class on this field without any dots. For example, if I do this, we're adding that styling. Maybe we don't see it right now because we have this open. Okay, now we see it that we're applying that border to the section. So that's for advanced users, so you have that option. But for now, I'm gonna remove it because I'm not loading any special styling that needs to be applied to the section. So those are the styling settings, and actually I'm gonna update the section background to something else like this and add a little more padding. Let's see how it looks. So I'm gonna save it, and that's it. Thank you again. If you have any questions or if you have any issues, please don't hesitate to contact us via support page on our website. Thank you and take care.